And this next fight, man, I'm really looking forward to this fight, and I have a pretty strong opinion on it with the co-main event with Cub Swanson against Hakeem Dawodu. And the living legend, Cub Swanson, he's making his 24th UFC walk on Saturday night. This time it's going to be back up at featherweight, and he decided to drop down to 135 in his last fight. I feel like that wasn't a great decision with his age and mileage, and Jonathan Martinez really roughed Cub up. He finished him with leg kicks in round two. And Cub's taken about 10 months off since then, and I'm glad he decided to come back at 145. And for years at this point, Swanson has been the guy you have to beat to get in the top 10, top 15. Back when Swanson first joined the UFC, he picked up some huge wins over guys like Charles do Bronx Oliveira, Jeremy Stevens, Dustin Poirier, but fell short of getting the title shot, and he lost 4 in a row from 2017 to 2019. Looked like he was on his way out, but kind of settled into this gatekeeper war role, and he was able to get upsets over Cron Gracie, got an upset over Daniel Pineda, beat Darren Elkins, and he's had a couple losses as well, but they've been against top 10 guys, where he lost to Jonathan Martinez, lost to Giga Chikadze, and Hakeem Dawodu is a fighter who's still questionable, so Cub is a great tester for Dawodu. If Swanson can get the win over Dawodu, it may signify Dawodu will never be ranked again, and if he can run through and beat Swanson, Dawodu, on the other hand, maybe it's time to jump him back into a top 15 matchup right away. But the last time we saw Dawodu was almost a year ago at this point. He lost to Julian Erosa in a terrible performance. He missed weight. The whole week was just bad for him, and he definitely needs to make weight for this fight and beat Cub Swanson to guarantee his job here. And Cub Swanson is a guy that's a winnable fight for people, especially with his age and mileage, but still a guy you have to respect and be on point to defeat. And I actually have a pretty strong opinion on this fight, and I feel like a lot of people are not going to be leaning towards the way that I'm leaning. But when I look at this fight, I mean, you look at Hakeem Dawodu, he's a very good Muay Thai striker. The guy has a great jab, very heavy leg kicks, and he does a good job of using the jab or using the straight right hand to set up his kicks. He always usually puts some punches in front of his kicks, and he's very active with the leg kicks, which is something that you want to see, especially against a guy like Swanson, who doesn't check kicks the best and has had a lot of damage to his legs. And Dawodu also has a very stinging jab, which does help him out a lot, like I was saying. And he also uses athleticism to pull counter. He'll rip the body with straight shots. He'll rip you with up top into the head with 1-2s. But he really doesn't have great boxing to me, and he's not a powerful guy. He doesn't have any knockdowns in the UFC. He only has, I believe, 5 or 6 knockouts in his career. And when you look at, I believe he has 1 knockdown against that Yoshinari Hori guy, but that's it. He has 1 knockdown in the UFC. And when you look at, I feel like Dawodu's chin is very questionable, man. I think he has a durability issue. I think he has wrestling problems too. Like, takedown defense isn't good. He gives his back when he gets taken down. And I think he likes a real pretty fight. When he can keep it a technical fight, he can get the win and look really good. But if you could touch him on that chin, man, you could make him do the chicken dance or take him out of there. And if you make it a more wild fight, boxing fight, more in the pocket fight, Keem kind of breaks down. I don't think he likes being in a kinetic type of fight. And Cub Swanson, to me, is the much more dynamic striker. He just has to be on point in the fight. He can't let Dawodu get ahead early with the leg kicks and kind of nullify him. But I think that if Swanson can use his boxing, man, get on the inside, he's going to be a lot faster. He's going to be more powerful, more explosive. He's going to be able to close the distance from point A to point B faster, put combinations together. And Cub still cracks, man. I feel like Cub lands a lot of clean single shots, and a lot of times it's not enough to hurt or put opponents out. But Dawodu's chin is suspect, man. I feel like it is going to be enough to hurt Dawodu and potentially knock him out. And I think that Cub can even rely on the wrestling too, man. I think that people underrate his grappling, his wrestling. I think that he could take down Dawodu in this fight if he really has to, get his back, control him against the fence, and beat him that way too. So I just feel like he has multiple paths to victory, and Dawodu could potentially just beat him in a technical striking fight, but I don't see that happening, man. I'm pretty confident, actually, that Swanson's going to knock him out, and I've been good predicting Swanson fights, man, on my channel, so I feel good about this one. I think Swanson is going to expose Dawodu and show that his chin is just not here. It's not there, and I think he's going to knock him out in the first round, so I'm going to Cub Swanson to be a first-round knockout.